this is Evangeline. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that I have experienced and I've learned to stop doing this. And so I'm coming to you to share my experience, and hopefully from what I share with you, you will be able to take this information and see how you can apply it to your life moving forward. And the topic for today is the act of moving in silence. It's such an alluring thing when you have a woman who moves in silence, a woman who doesn't say much. Okay, a woman who doesn't take to social media and just vent all her problems. There's a little bit of elegance to a woman that moves this way. So I wanted to come through and share with you because I was not always this chick. I was always sharing a lot of things that I had no business sharing on social media. And so when I decided to be very mindful of the things that I share on social media, I started to enjoy that. I started like this new woman. So I want to come to you today and share some of the things that you there's two major questions that I have implemented to ask every time I'm about to share something. But let's take it back to applying this to a business, and then I'll also talk about how you can apply this to your personal life. But let's dissect the reason why I truly believe that oversharing is just a no-no. Okay, so first of all, we started to do a lot of sharing because social media became easy access. You can just hop on social media, take a couple of pictures of places you went, share that. Or maybe you have a milestone that you were hoping for in your business and you met that and you want to share the joy, you want to tell the world about it and all that good stuff. Sometimes it gets to be too much. So the whole idea or how I got into oversharing, to be quite honest, is because if you don't know already, I run a fashion brand. And as a result of that, a lot of places I went when I was digging on how to build my business was you have to humanize the brand. You have to humanize the brand. And the idea is you have to appear or show up to the people you're trying to serve so they know that it's a human behind the business that you representing to them. In a sense, it's an upper hand for small businesses because we're able to connect directly with our customers, our clients, or whatever, whereas with the bigger brands, they don't have that. That's the missing piece that they don't have, and that's why they invest into brand ambassadors or get athletes to endorse them, because they want that point of connection. So if you like an athlete and that athlete signs or is a brand ambassador for that company, that's the missing link right there. So they get that opportunity to be able to do that. But with small businesses, we don't need all that. However, if you're not mindful, you will start to overshare with the intent of humanizing the business. Okay, so people are like, oh, your business is not the only thing you do. You have personal side to you as well. You have your children, or you go places, you do other things in your business. So you need to share other parts of your life. You can't only show people your business. And it's true, but to an extent. And these two questions I'm going to share with you that you can use in order to decipher if it's okay to share the information you want to share, so you can stay on track as far as what you need to be sharing and what you need to be keeping to yourself. Okay, and this is not only social media. This can happen in offline as well. There may be people that you hang out with all the time. Doesn't mean that everything's happening in your life you need to share with everybody in your circle. As I said, we start to humanize our brand and we start to overshare. It's okay to show people behind the scenes if you're making a product and be a product-based business and you want to share behind the scene. That's great. Or maybe you are a service-based business and you have customers who might want to give you great reviews, and you probably want to do pictures of some of the results if you're giving them, and all that is good because you're trying to give social proof. You're trying to show people that, hey, I can do this thing. This is my result here. Or I make this thing. This is how I make this thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a fine line where you start to cross and start giving people more information than you need to give. So I will speak on my experience, okay? There was time in the past where I would hit a goal in my business. Maybe I'll hit a dollar amount in the business, or maybe I would sell out all the product, and you know, it's like it's a boost of morale, like sharing, oh, I made this much money in the matter of one day, or I did this in the matter. Why is it important? Why is it important that we have to tell our customers that we made X and X dollar in amount of 2 days or 3 days or however long it took us to do that? Why is it important? You know, or for example, we would be like, you know, we got a big project and like, oh, I closed this big deal. Like, why is it so important to show your people or your customers about all the deals you're closing? I don't think it's important. Like, I made a lot of mistakes when I signed on with Macy's. Before I was in the store, I was telling everybody, oh, Macy's and I were going to be doing this. I don't think it was important. And this is just my point of view. Now, after I launched, that was a good time to promote the fact that I'm now in Macy's. You promote it, you promote it, you promote it, you promote it. Or maybe, let's assume everything was closed, the deal was finalized, and I'm supposed to hit the stores on, I don't know, May 15th. Then I start promoting. The whole intent for sharing this information is to be able to drive customers to the store to make purchase. It's not about hooray and hooray, telling social media, I've accomplished this, I've did this, I've done that. Sometimes it's just bragging, to be quite honest. The ego needs to be stroked, and sometimes that's all we're doing. We're just stroking the ego. I brought this up to give you context of what I'm about to share with you in regards to asking these two questions when you have to share anything for your business, and I'll also give you an example for your personal life as well. So if you want to share something about your business, maybe a milestone or whatever the case may be in your business, the question you want to ask, the first question is, who is this going to benefit in terms of the people you're sharing this information with? Who is it going to benefit? Like, why do you think it's going to be beneficial to them by sharing that you made $10,000 this month in your business? Why you think it's important? Or you close this big deal. Do you think people who build businesses are going around and telling everybody that, oh, I closed this big deal, or I hit $15,000 in my business? Or the true people, the people with all money who really know how to make money, they're not going around and bragging about hitting $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in the business in a month. They're not on social media and blasting it. Now, there are some companies, big companies, that have to expose their financials. They have no choice, but they have to expose their financials. But they're not going around doing that. So if you've asked your question, who is it going to benefit, and no, it doesn't make sense to share it with people, do not share that information. That is information that does not need to be out there. Period. The second question you want to ask is, how is it going to solve anyone's problem? So who is it going to benefit by them knowing this information, and how is it going to solve someone's problem? If it's not going to solve anybody's problem, you don't need to be sharing it. Now let's give an example from a personal standpoint. So let's assume you went on vacation, all right, and you enjoying your vacation, but you want everybody to know you at this spot. Okay, you just out on vacation. You want to I'm here. I'm in this, that. I've done it. What's the reason? And I think it's because people believe that if they don't share, that means it never happened. We have to be in the moment. We have to enjoy our vacations and stuff like that and be in the moment. Because you did not share does not mean it did not happen. And like I said, I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I'm giving you this from my own experience and how I have learned to move in silence. And it's so sexy. It's so beautiful. There's nothing wrong with sharing your vacation. But I would recommend when you're back home and you saw these beautiful places that you want to share with your friends and say, this is a very beautiful place, breathtaking, really nice. And the reason why I recommend, if you must share, you have to wait until you leave that location, is because you are putting information out there of where you are, what's happening, what you're doing. Some people give the hotels that they're staying in. Some people give the room number they're staying in by doing live. Some people take pictures of the place when they're there And when you're in that spot, you never know what could be happening. You never know. Maybe nobody's coming to harm you, but people be like, oh, okay. Maybe some people in your neighborhood been trying to rob your home and be like, oh, okay, she's not home. She's in, I don't know, England or wherever the case may be. So they're coming for your home now. You know, so you want to make sure when you're sharing those type of information that you are maybe back home, and then you can share. There's no rush to share this information. The fact remains that you were there. You did attend. You have pictures to prove it. But like I say again, if it's not going to benefit anyone for sharing, there's no need to share this information. Not because you didn't share it means that you didn't go or you didn't have the experience. You had the experience. Another example would be you out to dinner with your friends, or maybe you out to dinner with your boyfriend or husband or wife or whatever the case may be, and you had this really amazing meal and you really want to share the meal, or you want to share the location or whatever the case may be. Go home and then you can share. Get home and you can share. This is the thing. Not because you're sharing it 2 days later or 5 hours later means you were not at that location and you did not have that food. You ate that food. You're just sharing it at a later time. Now let me give you an example of when it makes sense to share information of your meal. So I went vegan late last year. People saw the transformation in my looks, in my appearance, and they were asking me like, what is it that you did? So I would share, you know, some of the gym workout I did. I would share some of the protein shakes that I'm drinking, or I would share my meals that I prep, and then I would give the nutritional benefits to the meal that I create. And so those are the times where I would share my food, because like I said, the two question is, who is it going to benefit and what problem is going to solve? And in this case, it benefits people who want to make vegan meals and don't even know where to start. It helps those people, and then it benefits those people, same people, it benefits them because they're able to, follow the regimen that I share with them and implement that in their lives. I don't see anything wrong with sharing that. Now, if you think I'm going to go to dinner with my husband, that was in the past. I've done it before. Like I said, I'm not coming from a place of judgment. But the Vanjie today, if you think I'm going to go to dinner with my husband and we're going to be enjoying our time, spending time together, and I'm going to be taking picture of the food like I used to do back in the day to show it that we at this spot and we eating this type of food, nope, I'm not doing that. And that is because who is it going to benefit? Who is it going to benefit? Now, like I said in the previous example, if I had this amazing meal and I wanted to share, yeah, a couple of days later I could say, let me share this. I may not even need to share that with a picture. I might say, go to this spot, there's such and such and such, and the food is good, and I can share that. And that's it. Okay, I don't want to overshare anymore. I really believe, like I said, there is some value in je ne sais quoi about a woman who moves in silence. Everything does not have to be on the internet. Every time you think you want to share something, ask those two questions. Who is it going to benefit? Okay, how is this going to solve a problem? If it's not going to benefit anyone, and if it's not going to solve any problems, keep it to yourself. Try and keep it to yourself. No, but on a serious note, you have to learn to move in silence, not putting too much out there. Because quite frankly, when people do not know a lot about you, you become interesting. You become very interesting. Okay, because we are inquisitive creatures. And when you're not putting a lot of information out there, people want to know, who is this chick? You become very interesting. People want to get to know more about you. Anyway, if you enjoy a topic like this, please go ahead and subscribe. We'd love to have you here. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps YouTube share the video with more people. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.